Today I wanted to have more of a casual sit-down discussion with you guys because I get a question a lot, and that is, how do I protect my brand new vehicle? There's a lot of different products out there and a lot of probably confusing and conflicting views out there. So I wanted to make a video of what I recommend as a professional detailer for getting your brand new car protected. Behind me is actually my dad's brand new Tesla Model 3 Performance. We just did a build quality video to see how this car came in. I'll leave a link in the description below. But there was some detailing things that needed to go on here. So we had to do a little bit of paint correction, polishing, and ceramic coatings, the protection aspect. So we're gonna jump into all that, talking about what I recommend, what I absolutely don't recommend, and go from there. Welcome back to Out of Spec Detailing. So if you found this video, you've probably already started looking at protection for your car. You've probably heard of ClearBra, ceramic coatings, waxes, sealants. There's so much out there. I think first off, let's start with paint protection film and my recommendations on it. First off, I'll just tell you, my professional and personal opinion is I don't love this stuff. Now, I see the use cases for paint protection film, but in my case, what I find is that I would rather have a few rock chips here and there than a lot of other kind of background issues that I see with ClearBra, and we're gonna talk about those in a second. So let me tell you, I used to be a certified XPEL paint protection film installer, and I have since just decided not to use it as a service for a lot of reasons. So number one is talking yellowing. So all manufacturers of paint protection film have their 10-year warranties against yellowing. I'll tell you firsthand, even with something like XPEL, and I'm not just bashing XPEL, this is all films. My dad's other car, he actually has an Audi A5 convertible. We put a little bit of paint protection film on the mirrors, you know, just testing stuff out to see how it works. And I'll tell you, within a month, it was dramatically a different color than the rest of the car. White, you see it a lot, and it really depends on the color of your car as well. If you have a black vehicle, you're gonna notice it less. But you know, what happens is, okay, so say you do maybe a partial hood, which again, I don't really think is a great option to do. You see this line down the hood, but say you're doing a full hood, full front end, but you're leaving the doors. You're gonna notice that the front end of the vehicle is definitely going to be a lot yellower over time than the rest of the vehicle. So that's one of those things that I really don't love. I just don't find that the technology is quite there yet. Number two is edges peeling and lifting. So again, on a white vehicle, what you typically see, if they're not fully wrapping edges, or if they do fully wrap edges, over time you're gonna see the edges peel up, you're gonna get dirt under there, and it looks absolutely horrible. I may bring you guys outside and show you Kyle's Rivian R1T with the factory PPF on it, show you how yellow it already is and all the edges lifting. Number three comes down to install. And this is where I think there's a lot of issues going on in the industry. So you have your top 1% guys that I would take my car to every day. They are just the top of the top, but they're very expensive. So I think the hard part is a lot of people go, okay, I want, you know, a front end kit on my car, costs $1,500. Maybe somebody's charging $3,000. Well, why would I pay double? Well, there's a huge discrepancy in install, and guys who are cutting on your car with a knife need to have the knife skills appropriately, because I've had videos, even on this channel, back when we first started it, of a 718 Cayman that had a full vehicle wrap on it. The film looked horrible, had orange peel, yellowed, but every single edge was cut. And in my opinion, the whole car kinda, if you wanted it perfect, has to be repainted. So really not worth, you know, the issues going into that. A couple other things I've seen is bug stains. It's really one of these weird things that kind of happens with paint protection film. I had a customer get it on a black vehicle, get like a partial hood on a black vehicle. And summertime, I detailed the car, ceramic coated the paint protection film. He went on a road trip for 2 weeks, came back, I washed the car down. The bug stains have permanently stained the ClearBra. They have eaten away the top layer of film and permanently stained it. So now you're putting a new piece of film on after just 2 weeks. That was kind of an extreme example, but it's very hot out. It was a black car. This is stuff you guys are gonna run into. Whereas if that hit on paint, you could easily polish it out, or hopefully it wouldn't eat away that paint because it's a harder layer versus a very soft film on there. You know, I get the question a lot from a lot of Rivian owners because they go, okay, I take my truck off-road, right? And I want my truck to look the best. So should I wrap the whole vehicle? And I go, okay, well, here's kind of a weird thing. If you're taking your car off-road, again, like I was talking about with those lifting edges, every time that you go off-road, those edges just start to peel up a little bit more and more each time. They get dirt, they get gravel, grime in there, and it just starts looking horrible. So let me take you outside and show you what's going on with this white Rivian R1T. So here we are outside with my friend Kyle's Rivian R1T from Out of Spec Reviews. And let me show you this. I hope you can see the difference here. So this is the gear tunnel and the factory PPF from Rivian. You can hopefully already see pure white, and then this is already yellowed. This truck was bought, I think, right at 8 months ago. It's got a lot of miles on it, but you can imagine, so you wrap your entire vehicle, this kind of stuff is going to happen. Let me show you what happens to the edges here. So you notice here where the ClearBra actually ends. See how much yellower the ClearBra is than the white, but also notice all this dirt buildup in here. You're going to see that absolutely everywhere. Here's another prime example of it. This is actually already lifted here on this edge and just building up dirt. This is permanently in there. You can't remove that. Now here, on the Rivians, they put a little piece of PPF down there. You can see how it's already kind of peeled up and has dirt just shoved in there. So if you have an issue like that, you're gonna have to start replacing film over time. It's extremely expensive to do so, so just keep that in mind. And I know a lot of guys will say, okay, well, you can wrap it over edges. That is true, but you're also gonna see that in every edge. It's just one of those things, like it keeps kind of, I don't know. I really have a hard time recommending this stuff, but let's hop back inside and talk a little bit more. So let me give you my last final points on PPF and why I don't recommend it. I think a couple of the last things is how they clean up. I find that paint protection film is actually a lot harder to clean, even with ceramic coatings over the top. Now there are manufacturers starting to come out with ceramic coatings infused into the paint protection film, but typically, again, you're using this like soft plastic film and it just seems to attract more stuff. It seems that dirt grime gets in the pores deeper compared to paint with a ceramic coating, and they feel like you have to scrub them quite a bit. And I do understand their use cases. I understand the, want to protect from rocks, scratches, things like that, but just in my perspective, it's like you're trading off so much just to not have some rocks. If you properly maintain your vehicle, wash it occasionally, and properly wash it, one of the biggest things for maintaining your car, you're not gonna really run into a ton of issues. Now, the inevitable rock chips you're gonna have, I'm gonna have a video coming out later on how to properly use touch-up paint. I'm sure you guys have seen, you get this paint pen and people just glob it on there. It looks absolutely horrible. That's not the way you do touch-up paint, but I'll be making a video coming out very, very soon. The last one is cost, and there's a big discrepancy on cost, right? As I talked about a little bit before. My personal opinion, if you are, say you've got a Rivian R1T and you're not paying anywhere between $7,000 and $8,000, if not more, you're probably not getting the highest quality film. You're not getting the best installer. So spend the money if you really have outweighed those options and go, paint protection films for me, you need to spend the money to have it done right. Anyways, let's keep moving on into ceramic coatings. I'm sure you guys have all heard about these, and if not, let me tell you about what they are. So ceramic coatings are a revolutionary product that do a lot of great things, but don't do things as well, as I'm sure you're gonna hear in this. So what they do is keep your car cleaner longer. That's one of the biggest benefits to having a ceramic coated car. They don't attract dust. They have a lot of UV inhibitors in them, but other things that they do is make it a lot easier to maintain and clean your car. So your car doesn't get dirty as often, but when you go to wash it down, the dirt falls off the car. It's a lot easier to clean up. Now, I'm gonna have some videos talking after this on how to maintain your ceramic coated car, or doing maintenance details on it, what that kind of looks like, because it's very important. And before we get into deep diving into ceramic coatings, they are not snake oil. You do have to wash your car. You do have to maintain it. This is not something that you're gonna put on, you never wash your car again, it looks perfect all the time. Absolutely not. We live in Colorado here, and believe me, these cars get absolutely filthy even with ceramic coatings. But the nice part is when you go to do your maintenance detail, it is so much easier to do. You have protection on the paint, the dirt gets released easier, which causes you not to scrub the paint and mar and scratch. It's just this whole process that really starts helping. Now there's a bunch of different ceramic coatings on the market, and I get the question all the time, have you heard of XYZ ceramic coating? Well, no. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of ceramic coatings on the market, and it's really tough to weigh what's good, what's bad, what's hype. I think the hype recently has been the graphene ceramic coatings, and not a topic for this video discussion, just my personal opinion, just stay away from them. What I really recommend doing is going with companies that have a big following, that seem to have coatings that don't come out every single year. I think it's kind of this funny thing is, this is our latest, greatest coating, and we reformulate it every year. Well, if it's good, why are you reformulating it every 6 months, every year? See that happen with a lot of companies. So I've used 3 major main suppliers of ceramic coatings throughout my detailing career. I originally started off with CarPro, and CarPro made some really, really good ceramic coatings. What I found over time is that they were very difficult to install. And I kept running into these issues with non-metallic black cars getting, paint swelling. It's a whole different discussion as well. But what I moved on to was using Gtechniq ceramic coatings. I was using Crystal Serum Light XOV4, and to be honest, was having some issues with the coatings, which has moved me to my final kind of resting place with ceramic coatings, and that is Gyeon. So I am now a certified Gyeon detailer, using their pro level coatings on all vehicles in the shop here. And I absolutely love the coatings. They install nice, their performance is great, and they have a realistic lifespan. That's one of the biggest things with ceramic coatings. I'm sure you guys see this. This is a lifetime ceramic coating, a 10-year ceramic coating. My personal opinion, anything over 5 years, throw it out, just walk away and I do not agree with it. My personal opinion is cars, even on that 5-year mark, I think it's a little stretching it. I find cars between 3 to 4 years need a nice refresh, a polish, re-ceramic coat the car, because what happens is, you take your car here, you're washing it consistently, you're putting love marks in it at times if you're not washing it to the degree that I do. Everything can't be perfect washing these cars. You're gonna pick up some scratches here and there. So I really find that it's nice to be able to, every 3 to 5 years, depending on how you use your car, to refresh that. And I just think these 10-year long or lifetime ceramic coatings are just crazy. So let me talk about the ceramic coating that I use on the paint. So this is Gyeon Q2 Infinite Base Type 1. Crazy name, right? Well, there's some cool things going on with this technology. It's formulated a lot differently than a lot of ceramic coatings out in the market. So I'm sure you've heard of SiO2 coatings, which is silicon dioxide. This stuff is made with polyxylazate. I'm totally explaining that wrong, pronouncing it wrong, but it is a really cool technology where when you install it, it physically bonds to the paint within 3 to 5 seconds. It's really cool. Now, this is really interesting stuff because it is a warranted ceramic coating. So this is only to be installed by certified detailers. Unfortunately, you guys cannot go out and buy this stuff, but I can install it here at the shop for you. What's really cool that I like about this is Gyeon uses a 1 bottle per car ceramic coating method. So each car and bottle has a serial number on it. So if we have issues down the road in your 5-year warranty period, now there are all these maintenance guides that you have to, do to maintain your car. You can't just never wash your car and, come back to me in 3 years and go, coatings failed. Well, of course it did. That's what goes on with that. But what's really cool, I like that the serial number is connected to the car. So if something does happen down the road, they go back and look at, okay, what are the batches looking like with the ceramic coatings? How was it installed? Who was it installed by? And then we come up with a game plan to either fix the ceramic coating or what we're going to do in that regard. So far, what I've heard from Gyeon is they've only had one issue with coating failure, which I'm super happy to hear about. I've had coatings in the past fail on cars, mostly due to user error, not from install, but nonetheless. Anyways, there's a lot of ceramic coating. So that covers the paint. And now let's talk about wheels. So wheels are one of those things that get a lot of dirt and debris, right? So you have a lot of brake dust, you have mag chloride on the roads, salt on the roads here in Colorado, and they just take a ton of abuse. So what you can do, there's tons of ceramic coatings out there specifically made for wheels. What I've actually been playing with is using 2 different ceramic coatings. Sorry about popping off camera here, but I've been using Mo's Evo on wheels, 2 layers of it, and I've been really happy with it. That's another Gyeon product. So that one is actually a consumer grade product that you guys can buy at home, put on your paint. Do I recommend doing so? I don't know. I personally always recommend having a ceramic coating done by a professional because everything is really in the prep. It's how you paint correct the car, polish the car, prep it for the ceramic coating to bond, and actually installation of the coating. Now this stuff is really quite simple to install, but you can get yourself into some tricky situations. Believe me, I've had those calls from you guys who go, I ceramic coated my car and destroyed it. And then I've also had videos on this channel where I had professionals that I had to redo their work because they're not doing their job accordingly. So anyways, wheels. I've really been liking Mo's Evo on wheels. It seems to release the brake dust, leaves a nice slick finish on it. You can use this on glossy wheels, on satin wheels, matte wheels, doesn't matter. What I'm actually testing out on my dad's car here is using the Infinite Base Type 1. So I'm really curious to see on his Model 3 Performance how that interacts with everything. Very, very excited. Now, let me take you around the car and show you a few more things you can do with ceramic coatings. So we've got our main areas now taken care of as far as ceramic coatings. So our paint, I'm recommending you guys come here and use Gyeon Infinite Base Type 1. Just amazing stuff. I really recommend doing wheel coatings. Now what I do here at the shop, this is actually sitting on a lift. I lift the vehicles up, pull the wheels off, coat the faces, barrels, and the actual calipers on cars. I just think it is the best way to eliminate quite a bit of brake dust, quite a bit of work. You're still gonna have to obviously clean your wheels, but it definitely helps. Now, another area on the outside of the vehicle I really recommend ceramic coating is areas like this, black plastic trim. Now this car doesn't have a ton of that, but on the Rivian, so we have this whole rear bumper, goes over the arches. From day one, they look honestly pretty terrible. They look faded. They just don't have that richness to them that they should. But let me bring it down here. Look how nice this looks. It looks moisturized, but it's not sticky. It's just perfect. And what I recommend using on that, and what I do here at the shop, is using Gtechniq C4 Permanent Trim Restorer. I hate the word permanent in that because this stuff really only lasts about 2 years, but it really restores the trim quite nice. I actually love this stuff. So like on the Model 3 Performance here, we ceramic coated all this area up here in the cowl. It just looks absolutely stunning. And definitely this full grille down here. as well. I go in and ceramic coat all of that. There's a few videos watching me do that on, like a Rivian. I take a little swab and come in here. I ceramic coat every single little piece and portion of that. But that's really on the exterior what I recommend. I played around with some glass coatings in the past and I found that I just don't like them. They make windows kind of tacky at times. I'm still working on finding a good glass coating, but just in general what I do, keep your windows clean and they stay quite nice. But look at this paint. It is just absolutely glowing here. So this is really what I recommend doing on your particular vehicle. So coming in here, getting a paint correction from new, a polish from new, and then ceramic coating the paint. We coat all the wheels, coat all of the black plastic trim, and this is how a brand new vehicle should look. Now, there is one more area I want to touch on, and that is interior. So as far as interior, of course you can see that we have the white vegan leather, which is basically just vinyl here in the Tesla Model 3. Now there's a couple of cool things you can do with this stuff, and I'm happy to say that I really enjoy light white seats like this. I also did another video on this channel talking about Tesla vegan leather versus Rivian vegan leather. I'm sure if you're probably watching this, you may have, this color of seat and want to protect it. So what do I recommend? Well, this is another service I offer here at the shop. Along with all of the other ceramic coatings, we have a ceramic coating for your seats. So this is called Leather Shield. It can be used with either leather or vinyl, so important to note that. So this car was actually pretty much from day one. I think this thing literally has 60 miles on it, but we coated the seats with 2 layers. That's another option you can do as an add-on service here at Clear Detailing. I highly recommend it on Tesla seats. Actually, my personal car over here, my Tesla Model 3 dual motor, I have not done it and I really wish I would have. So this is my car over here, and the seats in there, not looking the greatest. This car definitely needs a good clean right now, but nonetheless. So let's kind of give this a recap, give you my final thoughts of what you should be doing to protect your brand new vehicle. So these are my final thoughts on what you should do to protect your brand new vehicle. I would skip paint protection film. After an extended period of time, I think that the truck or vehicle is going to look worse than having a few rock chips here and there. I just think there's so many more cons to paint protection films than there are pros to it. So you need to be the deciding factor on that though. What do you care about most? If you just want protection on there, don't really care how it looks, just throw paint protection film on there. But if you don't really care how it looks, why spend $7,000 to $10,000 doing paint protection film, and why are you on a detailing channel? Just my thoughts there. So at the end of the day, what I really recommend, if you're calling me wanting to protect your brand new car, do a paint correction, do a polish, a ceramic coating on the paint, a ceramic coating on the wheels, and a ceramic coating on the trim. And as an option, if you have a light interior like the one on the Model 3 Performance here, let's do a ceramic coating on the white seats inside. Highly, highly recommend it. If you guys have any questions for me or want to see any other videos here on the Out of Spec Detailing channel, do let me know. But thank you guys all for bringing your vehicles in here. It is so awesome to talk to each and every one of you. In the link in the description below, you can book some services with me by going on my website, www.cleardetailing.com, and you can reach out to me personally. Hope to hear from you very, very soon, and we'll see you in another video very, very soon. Bye-bye.